What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the SOOP Duel Series. Yes, it's time for Season 3, the third month of the Duel Series. As this continues on, we've got Best versus JyJ. This is a series from sometime in 2024. I'll get the exact date and throw it down in the description for you guys, but I think everyone is getting used to and understanding the fact that online performance does not equate or give a great indicator of offline performance in something like the ASL. It's pretty clear that those guys who perform great in tournaments like these still sometimes falter in those offline environments. And so take it for what it is, guys. Enjoy the games. Have fun. Hang out. Come join the SOOP live stream as well. We're watching these at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US, so it definitely should be a reasonable time for most people to be able to get online, unless you're in EU, which in that case you're probably better suited to watching the ASL. And this is something for us to watch in the interim between when the round of 4 was casted of the ASL and when we get to watch that finals. So I'm happy for it. We're going to be getting into this one, guys. Best absolutely has been crushing it lately. He is such an awesome PvT specialist. Really looking forward to seeing how he performs here today against JyJ, former ASL champion, who got knocked out this season of ASL in kind of disgraceful fashion. He got knocked out by Tyson, who put out some pretty rough games, but he really is more of a Terran versus Zerg specialist. Now he's going to be blocking here. He is dealing very well with the first Zealot. Wow. Handles that first Zealot extremely well and blocks with the eBay in the natural. That's really going to slow things down, and Best realizes he might as well turn around and head back home. Getting the Zealot to hit the engineering bay because a lot of health was put onto that. Look, halfway built. This is one of the this is, I think, the fastest building Terran building that you can buy. I believe so. Not 100% on that, but it is quite cheap and it builds very, very quickly. And so was able to put quite a bit of HP on that, just slow down the build of Best ever so slightly. Gets his command center down before the Nexus. That's very important. Whenever you see this CC going down before the Nexus, you know that the Terran player is in a pretty decent spot. Also has the Vultures out roaming the map, so Best cannot be cavalier with his first Dragoon. Go across and try to hit Marines or anything like that, which means JyJ can sit here and not build a bunker for a period of time as well. Mines are going to be out soon. He might not even have to build a bunker at all, which is kind of crazy. Going to be able to get away with a lot. In fact, he's pushing out with the Marines as well. I think it's time to send those back. But he is going to come up towards this wall and see what he can do. There's 2 Dragoons here, and so I'm assuming it's not going to be much. But, oh, the Dragoon actually went down to bottom center, and so he can get mines on this high ground. The high ground mines are going to be nasty. He pushes the Dragoon over to this right-hand side. The Marines could come up here and bully that away, or they could come around the right-hand side and push that into the mine. Either one would be pretty nasty. Gonna push forward here, trying to gun down that one Vulture. That one Vulture is super low. Actually, coming back in for that one last shot is a little bit wild. Gonna gun down this Zealot here immediately. Zealot actually gonna eat that mine. Okay, mine connection on that. Mine connection on the Dragoon as well. Big hit there, killing off one of these Dragoons. Of course, the Marines are not gonna live for too much longer, but he gets 2 probe kills. Might even get a third. Third probe kill is insane. 4th probe kill, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, those Marines actually doing so much work. I was thinking that was a bit of a fool's errand there, sending the Marines all the way across the map like that, but surprisingly able to get 4 kills. Might have been better for Best to pull the probes to fight that. Just kill the Marines a little bit quicker and not allow so much damage. The lost mining time Definitely wouldn't have been as impactful as 4 lost probes, and you can see now he's behind by quite a few workers. 6 workers down at the moment, but there is a Reaver coming across this map, and I'm not sure JyJ is fully understanding his position right now. That, you know, he's got a great macro lead. All he needs to do is just not take damage, not take crazy damage back at home, and he should be fine. He is going to set up some mines around in the main base, but there's still a lot of room here for the Reaver to get set down and start to clear out these turrets. This is really scary, guys. Okay, that Dragoon does take a big shot there. The Reaver can start to clear out these mines, though. Putting quite a bit of damage onto this Reaver so far. Can he find another position here to drop the Reaver? I think he will. Does drop the Reaver over at this corner. We'll get a few more kills. Oh my gosh, he lost the Reaver. No way. The damage from the SCVs and the damage from that Vulture actually clear out the Reaver, and so he is going to be able to keep his main base alive while initiating this attack. Looks like he's not going to get too much out of it. Kind of throwing away a lot of these units, but back at home, clearing out the Reaver is huge. He's still maintaining this advantage. The advantage that he earned earlier has not been stolen from him by Best. That Reaver absolutely could have done massive, massive damage. There's 2 turrets for these 2 bases. That is it, guys. So the shuttles basically had free reign to just fly wherever they wanted. He managed to hold that with just SCVs and Vultures and a couple of mines here and there. Pretty impressive stuff, but the attack in the natural definitely stole some of Best's attention during that micro. So Best is in shambles. He's very far behind in this game. He's going to have a really difficult go of it here if he wants to bring this back to a win. He's going to have to take this quite wide. He's going to have to macro like an absolute god, which he's completely capable of. But even if you macro fantastically and you build into a big army, the numbers game, the numbers are just going to add up to a loss. No two ways about it. JyJ, 52 workers, taking his 3rd CC on location, just expecting Best not to check there. And indeed, it seems like he just won't. And so that's going to go unhindered for quite a while. In fact, that CC is going to be coming up about the same time as the Nexus at 6 o'clock. And he's got way more workers to saturate that as well. So this is looking fantastic for JyJ. I can't imagine him losing this game, but Best is another animal altogether. Wait, what are these probes going? Hello? Oh my goodness. Okay, he's gonna turn them. Those probes are going a little far out there. Getting some ideas, maybe going in for an attack, but instead they're gonna turn around and finally saturate this base. Really doesn't have enough probes to fully saturate 3 bases, but at 50, you can get pretty decent saturation overall. You need about 20 probes, 20 workers per base in order to have full saturation. And you can always get a little bit more money by having a couple more probes in there as well. But it really does start to fall off after that 20 mark. For Zerg, it's more like 12. You want 12 workers per mineral base. You can go higher, of course, but the way the Zerg economy functions, making that many workers is gonna really start to cut into your army supply because larva is a thing. So we've got JyJ all battened down with turrets ringing the base now. Mines absolutely everywhere. Best doesn't really have an option for getting in and actually slowing anything down, and so he's just gonna kind of sit back. Sit here on 3 bases, try to get into a 4th, and start to prepare himself for this insane attack that's going to come out of JyJ soon here on Pantheon. It is cross-map position, so it can be difficult to come all the way across the map and get in over to that natural, but it's pretty simple to batten down on 4 or 5 bases for JyJ. Once he gets the mineral only that's south of his main base, then he can take center right and really control this quadrant of the map. Lock it down and have turrets absolutely everywhere, make it almost impossible to get in anywhere. And Best's just not going to have the materials to make any sort of a break happen. Can get into 3-3 upgrades for the Terran mech army and just shut down, send drops and vultures around to just shut down. Probes making their way into these different bases. Trying to set up, you know, bottom right, top left. Delaying those actions as long as possible. And look at this, we've got a scan here in the main base. Gonna get rid of this observer here. Oh, does need a second scan. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we'll get that off. He's already set up so perfectly for any sort of arbiter or budget recall with a bunch of shuttles, so JyJ doesn't really need to pay too much attention to his main base anymore. He's just going to be macroing out of there and getting ready for this upcoming attack. Any sort of drop into that main is going to be ill-fated, and so he's unsieging here, getting ready to move forward. Hopefully we'll get a click on one of these tanks. We can see the upgrades here shortly. +1 armor is about to finish up. I believe that's +1 armor anyway. Nice shot there with the Reaver, but Reaver control not Best's forte, man. He does get a few kills there, but not what he should have gotten. Not what a player like Snow would be able to get, continuously dipping back and throwing down Reaver shots as the Terran player advances. No, he's just going to take what little damage he can get and then fall back onto his normal Dragoon, Zealot, and shuttle control, backing up with all of these Dragoons. He's having a hard time fighting any of this stuff, and now that it's sieged up here in the middle, it's going to be that much harder. That's a pretty stacked group of tanks. Maybe there's a hope here that Best could actually get on top of that and kill this big clump of tanks here in the middle. Is he going to go for it now? Yes, he is. Zealots. Maybe some High Templar in here as well. I think it's just going to be pure Zealot on top of all of these tanks. A lot of the Dragoons are being targeted down, though. It looks like they're just absolutely melting. Not enough stuff here for Best to be able to break through this, and JyJ is going to push forward towards this win. It's all but over. Best just didn't have the numbers here. The early game damage was too much. Wasn't able to return fire in that main base with the Reaver. Got shut down a little bit too handily by JyJ, and a surprising first win here for JyJ. He's going to be taking the lead early on in this series. Oh, what a mine. Oh my God. Oh, what a series of mines there. Hold on. Okay. Oh no, hold on. Wait a minute now. It's not over. With mines like that, JyJ not just targeting those down is kind of crazy, but this game will continue on. Maybe he can make a couple more Zealots and actually break this. Only 2 tanks on high ground, and there's a bunch of mines in the mix of that. He's actually going to drop the Dragoons on top. Finally, JyJ kills his own mines. I mean, that was definitely, that was a prerequisite here to winning this. Definitely should have done that. Does throw down some more mines, realizing he can just kill all the Dragoons there and still be pretty okay. 2 more tanks coming up. Gonna start to get rid of these pylons over here. Once the pylons are gone, then he'll have free reign inside this. Oh, dropping a DT on top of that stuff. Gonna try to... Oh, Reaver here on low ground as well. Could get a big shot. There you go. Reaver needs to be pulled back here and dropped so that he can defend some of these probes. Oh, that just goes down pretty darn quickly. Looks like a DT will clean this up. A lot of probes are falling. JyJ finally getting the damage, but he actually picks up as many probes as he can. That's not bad. 8 probes in that shuttle. He's going to save quite a few of those. Unfortunately, not blocking on the ramp there. It could have killed every vulture, but he is still alive. He's still surviving in this game. Just the vulture run-bys everywhere, starting to become a little bit hectic. Fourth base is up now for JyJ, and despite clearing that army, the position here is still really rough for Best. He's being completely locked down into these 4 bases. And JyJ is matching those expansions now. He's continuing to macro behind this, bringing up another massive army to start more aggression here. It looks like he had that +2 upgrade finishing pretty darn late, so that +2 being pretty behind the curve. We've got the tanks coming around the right-hand side. This is the attack vector which most Terrans will use. Usually you see it from the Terran being down in the bottom right-hand corner, their initial base being bottom right. You can push through this very tight corridor, but here he's going to maneuver his way into this position. Look at how many Dragoons are not fighting during this. Zealots are going to be dropped in the mix of all of this army, and he will clear it up. My goodness, Best is so hard to kill, man. This guy is so tenacious and difficult to kill. JyJ is really having a struggle with it. Drop over here on the left-hand side. A lot of mines have been set up in between the rally and this position, so a lot of these probes are going to end up going down. Let's try to drag these mines into some of the vultures, but not successful with that. I'm going to go ahead and pick up bail out. This is a lot of damage once again, and JyJ just extending this lead, continuing to get further and further ahead. Great dodge there. Not going to allow that storm to clear out the tank and start to do some more damage. Killing off more and more workers as well is going to be amazing. 56 workers left over at this present moment, doing so much damage here. My god, so many Dragoons are trying to come up this ramp and they just can't. The dropship goes into the main base to look for more worker kills. That's 2 tanks there, still being super annoying as another attack comes into bottom center. Vulture's gonna get over here and just start gunning down these pylons. Best is in complete disarray as he tries to hold on to all of this. Adding on some more cannons here, but it's just a little bit too late. These Dragoons are going to come around the side, start to try and clean that up, but more mines are going to connect over here, and this pylon wall is close to being taken down. Did he actually finally lose that dropship? I think he lost it and both the tanks, and so he is starting to stabilize, but we needed to see, growth on the side of Best. We don't need to see him just sitting here. We need to see him actually grow, get another base online. He's been even on bases for way too long. Looks like he did some sort of a counterattack there. But wasn't really able to get much damage on these SCVs. In fact, still around 60 there, 59. It's been that way for quite a while. JyJ doesn't really need more than 60 SCVs. Not unless he splits the entire map in half and just wants to mine out those resources as quickly as possible. The way he's playing this with that aggressive style, attacking over and over and over again. Definitely, it's fine for him to have this. Oh my gosh, he snipes the High Templar shuttle. That's so big. Gets a couple of good storms off, but that kill on the High Templar shuttle is so painful. Best needed that splash damage. He desperately needs splash damage to deal with these tanks. Now +2 is done. +3 is on the way. It's 2-1 here for Best. Oh, he's coming in at a pretty good timing right now. Right as the tanks were sieging up there, he gets on top of a lot of this stuff. Storm in the middle of all these tanks, doing a lot of damage. This is a pretty reasonable cleanup for Best. Dude, he's getting right in on top of this. I can't believe he unsieged there. I mean, there's only 1 zealot left. But I guess he will unsiege and push forward with a full 30 supply advantage. He should be able to clear this out. I've said it already before, but Best has seemed to just remarkably be able to clear out these armies again and again, somehow busting through every attempt of JyJ to end this game. He is going to push up, try to get on top of this army. The storms over the wall were pretty good. Only 3 tanks remain, guys. 3 tanks left in this force. Can Best get in there and clear the army, and will it even matter? JyJ gonna set up some mines on this left-hand side, go to work, start killing some of these probes. At this point, fighting the cannons is completely viable. Just go ahead and get rid of those. Force some more units to run into mines here. Basically getting free kills while he goes to work on these probes. Absolute fun. It's... Look, I'm going to say something that's a little bit contradictory here. I know that Best has played a very good game and he's held off very well, but JyJ, despite losing that whole army and not really being able to close out this game, I think he's playing fantastically. He is playing a really good game. The way that he is attacking one angle and then running around and setting up mines and then attacking in another angle, baiting the Dragoons and Zealot army of Best into the mines over and over again has been really fantastic. It's just the engagements. The engagements from Best are way too good. They're always too good, honestly. He is so adept at dealing with everything. He's kind of defeating the numbers game. He's making the numbers lie here. There we go. GG is called. JyJ finally takes this one home. A hard-fought first victory here for JyJ. JyJ over here in the bottom left, coming off of a win, but not an altogether confidence-boosting win. Best held out for an insanely long time, even after being so far down in that early game. Really the mark of an extremely skilled Protoss player, able to just keep himself alive and just never say die. Best sending out his first probe, going on the 1 out of 3 chance, the 33%, or sorry, the 50-50 chance. Excuse me. This is a 3-player map. 50-50 chance that he spots his Terran opponent first, and then maybe he can steal this gas, and he will be able to get in here and take that. Oh, can he actually get it? He does. That was really close. JyJ was sitting on 98 minerals for a pretty long time there, with the SCV ready to build that, but wasn't able to get it down. And so Best will get away with this strategy. He's going to force JyJ into a bit of an awkward spot here. He's also getting quite a bit of damage on this SCV on the barracks, and could switch targets at any time, go after this SCV that's running now into the mineral patches, or continue to harass this barracks building SCV. Very annoying stuff from our man of the hour here, Best. Has earned himself a lot of fans, I think, this season of ASL. Oh, he gets knocked down. They're so close to getting that kill. One hit away from killing that SCV. Really, really close there. But yeah, like I was saying, has definitely earned himself a lot of fans this season. I'm sure there's a lot of you who are already sold on Best and thinking he was a great player for his performance in KCM and other seasons of the ASL, but this season he really showed us some great styles, showed us some very interesting builds, and I think for sure has earned himself a lot of love. Now going to be running by into this main base. It was a pretty good attempted block there from JyJ, but the SCV he sent out to make that CC unfortunately was already hurt, and so he couldn't continue to block that. Gonna have to micro pretty heavily to deal with this first Zealot, and JyJ struggling a little bit here. Will be able to get rid of that gas geyser finally, but this Zealot still has a lot of HP, and another Zealot's gonna run by. That'll definitely deny the CC, and so pretty frustrating stuff. That CC is going to be slowed down by quite a bit. Every second that ticks by right now is very annoying for JyJ. Good split here on the Marines, but one of them will go down. SCVs will finally get up this ramp to start working on this CC, and now he can get 4 Marines into the bunker. That'll be a little harder to run by. And so Best, he's just going to fall back, get into his own Nexus. Dragoon on the way as well. Should be popping out here in a moment. Maybe can block the SCV from getting in here. No, another Zealot popped out, so They didn't even have the Cybernetics Core done yet. Interesting. Gonna try to block with a probe. Can he actually block this out? Okay. Pretty good block there. Zealots are not here. They should be standing on this ramp, though. Oh. Okay. SCV will get in. Bit of a mistake there from Best. Maybe didn't have those hotkeyed just yet. Was just focusing on using the probes to block that. Doesn't end up working out, and the SCV gets in. Sees no range. Sees a robo there. At least I believe that was a robo set up right next to the gateway. Kind of knows what he's in for. At least he doesn't have to worry about really quick DT or something like that. He's getting in there and counting those pylons and just seeing the lack of attack. Oh my goodness, he's going to cut off these Marines. Ooh, 2 Marines go down. Oh, that's so rough. That is so rough for JyJ. These SCVs are going to try and block on the ramp, but he can absolutely target these down. 1, 2, 3 SCVs go down so quickly. Dude, what a crazy play from JyJ to walk out with those Marines. I think that this is a case of Best just knowing JyJ too well. He's like, you're going to move out with those Marines at some point. I'm going to come in at this angle and just cut you off. And dude, he is getting so much damage from this. This is crazy damage. This is not something that you would expect out of a Protoss player, because you don't expect a Terran to move out with those early Marines like that. Like, why would he take them out of the bunker and move forward to try and just shave off a little shields on the Zealots, most likely? But man, did that ever backfire. That's crazy amounts of damage. He's just lost a ton of workers, and he's down by 10 workers now. This is Best's game to lose. He has absolute control. We'll be getting a Reaver out. JyJ needs to defend that perfectly if he wants to have any hope in this game. Yeah, it's just crazy how much economic advantage is going Best's way. Gonna start up his 3rd CC. Not a crazy fast 3rd C, as he did go for a lot of Zealots this early game. Made quite a few Dragoons and got directly into Reaver. But he is going to have enough probes to begin saturating that once it's finished, and get himself into a 4th base rather quickly. Dude, JyJ is grasping at straws right now. He's like, how can I possibly bring this one back? What can I do to make this happen? How can I make this work? I need to do some sort of an attack right now. I need to get in there and do massive damage. Gonna run forward with this tank. Tank gonna be targeted down immediately. That does fall. Reaver here in the main base. Missile turret's gonna finish up, but it's not gonna matter too much. This Reaver can do insane damage here. Absolutely insane damage, at least forcing all of the SCVs away for the time being. Oh, he's having a hard time keeping the shuttle alive. Dude, that was a big mistake. He really should have been able to keep that alive. Looks like back at home, he actually cleared out everything, so some micro going on back at home maybe. But this is the real story. The Reaver absolutely clutching up. Gonna be able to kill so much stuff here. Oh, the mine connection. Wait. Ow, that's gotta hurt. Mines ripping through those Dragoons. But back at home, there's just no way to recover. GG is called. Let's begin game number 3 with Best in the top left-hand corner. JyJ bottom right kickback. A fun map. Enjoyed watching the ideas of these pro players on kickback in these best of 7 matches. It's been quite fun. I don't know if we'll ever see this in the map pool again. Probably not, but it was fun while it lasted. Does make for some interesting macro games. The weird part about this map, the thing that really makes it interesting, is the fact that you can get these 3 bases online so quickly, but they mine out so fast. Makes for an interesting setup where you can have these very powerful one-punch attacks for the Terrans, and then if they don't get another base online, they really start to fall apart. But one thing I'm kind of surprised about for this map, I thought that how it was going to play out is we were going to have, because 2 base pushes are so strong, I thought we were going to have, and I know this is just a weird idea as a caster, I thought that we were going to maybe see Terran players hit with like a 2 base timing, and then as the second base mined out, lift their CC and move over to the other base and just mine from that and like continue the pressure. I thought that that might be a pretty strong way to play. Actually, maybe not in this matchup, but more in TVZ. But that really hasn't been the case. It's been mostly Terran players either going all in with 2 bases and just never mining off of that third inside their own main, or building up as quickly as they can to get that third base on really fast, and then going up to like 10, 11 factories and just having one massive push. Pushing out on the map, trying to take some control and get another base online, or just go for broke. Try to kill. That's what I'll be expecting here in this game best. Sending some zealots across the map once again. Sees the Marines out here, and he's going to come in from a tight angle on this right-hand side. See if he can catch these Marines unaware, but 4 Marines together. It's not going to be a very good fight for him. He does want to back off of that. Wait for his second zealot to come and join the fight. Moving out, JyJ, trying to put a little damage on that initially. Oh, it's actually a Dragoon making its way to the front, but the bunker is going to be done here. Focuses down the probe. Zealot should be able to run by. We'll get some good scouting information with that Zealot. Nearly full HP on that. Trying to delay on the factory if he can, but... Oh, run by with the Dragoon as well. There's only 1 Marine in the bunker right now, so he's actually going to get the kill on this SCV. Very nicely done. The Dragoon going to run right back out again. That was some tactical play from Best. I like it. Run by, kill the 1 SCV, building the factory. Just a slight delay and then run back out. Only took a little bit of damage, and he's still running around with the Zealot as well. This Zealot is being so annoying. I might try to fight from high ground against the Marines. Kind of rough. With the number of hits you have to get onto that Zealot with the Marine. Oh, another run by here. 2 Dragons this time. Oh, and he's going to run right back out again. Okay. Interesting. He sees the second factory, but takes a lot of damage on this Dragoon for basically no return. Zealot's still alive here. 2 kills on that. Killing off both of those Marines is pretty annoying, and he's going to run around some more. Wait for a few more points of shields to return on this, and then he can try to kill another SCV. Can he get it? Nope. 2 SCVs managed to surround and kill off that Zealot. Nicely done. Third base going to come up here shortly for Best. He probably has range finishing up here soon. I'm a little surprised it's not quite done yet. Looks like he just finishing it up here in a moment. There it is, finished. And start to put some damage on this bunker. A little harder to pull SCVs to this wall. Pull them up one by one as a tank pops out, though. Not really getting a whole lot out of this. I thought the game plan here was to delay the tank as long as possible so that he could hit this bunker a little bit longer. With all the fancy feet, the weird stuff that he was doing with the Dragoons earlier, one of those is super low, so he's got to be very careful with it. It'll be targeted here by this tank if the opportunity ever arises. Diving forward onto this tank. Can he actually get it? Oh, he does get it. Huge kill there. Huge kill, and all the Dragoons are still alive as well. A second tank comes up. Gotta be careful. I think it's time to fall back with these Dragoons. Not worth it to try and dive in. You'll lose those 2 so quickly. siege mode is done. One dragoon gonna fall? No. Dragoons live. Crazy. Crazy these dragoons are all still alive, man. They've been doing so much work. Running in and out of that main base and dealing damage to the bunker, getting the first kill on the tank as well. Slowing down JyJ by a lot. And so I think we'll see JyJ sit and build another CC most likely. Although he could just try to keep the observer out of his base and add on a bunch of factories here on this right-hand side. I feel like Best is pretty good at cracking those attacks. He's very good at stopping a 2-base timing from Terran, especially cross map with so much space to work with. It'd be very difficult for JyJ to make that work. First observer coming into the main. Sees that detection's not quite done yet. 2 more factories are being built, going up to 4 fact. That's not indicative of any sort of 2-base timing attack. Stargate has begun. Interesting. We're going to need a Stargate play from Best. Is this going to be for... yeah, okay. Templar Archives starting at the same time as the Stargate. That's definitely going to be for Arbiter. So Arbiter play out of Best. Interesting. Best is absolutely capable of doing this, but I much prefer to see him do double robo play. He's just so good with that composition. Sticking with his guns. Not getting too fancy with this high-tech stuff. Gateways are all he needs, with some shuttles to transport those Templar around. That's what he is absolutely best at. And yeah, here comes that Arbiter. We'll see what he can get done with this. He's in a pretty good spot. JyJ gonna have a hard time contending with Best, no matter kind of what he does from here. And so JyJ gonna slowly push to the front. Slowly pushing back this army. Getting some turrets set up here, and Best is gonna just fully surround that. He's just sitting there, guys. He's just sitting there in an arc. The bane of the Terran players and casters alike. Best just gonna retreat from that initial push out. JyJ rotating around. He's gonna set up some mines here on the left-hand side. Make sure that he can't be counterattacked at the moment, and look to try and trap some of these Dragoons as they run away. Pretty good army movement from Best, though. Gonna escape for that for the most part. JyJ out here in the middle of the map. There's a lot of Zealots on the left-hand side of this. Gotta be careful with how far you push before sieging up these tanks. He's gonna try and chase down the army here, but Best is not gonna give him a straight up fight. He's gonna keep on backing away every time this guy tries to move forward. Coming up, he's gonna kill this tank for sure. Tank will be cleared. Picking off 1 or 2 of those at a time. Some SCVs coming to the fore. Want to be used to build some turrets up at this front. He's picking off Goliaths here, getting rid of some of that anti-air, and you can just see this is what Best does. He's so good at just slowing everything down. With the cross-map situation, he is eventually going to put together an army. Oh my god. Just disgusting. Look at how many Zealots this is. Oh, wow. All right. Goodbye, JyJ. Better luck next time. Pushing across this map with a 2-base attack is just... like I said, pretty rough. Best slowed that down exactly as he should. Got the critical mass of Zealots together and absolutely smashed that. Now, a lot of Terran players would just tap out in a situation like this, but JyJ gonna look for possibilities. Maybe he can get in and stop a 4th base, excuse me. Maybe he can delay that for a good enough amount of time, he can get his own third base online and look towards, you know, another timing push sometime in the future. Unfortunately for him, Best has already got that probe into center left. Now the idea will have to be, you know, catching some really nice mine hits and hoping to kill off some probe transfers as they move. Oh, okay. Probes as they move over to center left would be very nice. Not gonna let that happen though. So far, Best keeping his observers moving with the armies. Dragoons clearing out everything. It looks like Best will take double expansion, top center and center left, possibly at the same time. He has so much leeway on this map. He's got 50 supply advantage. Guys, I need to change this music. What am I doing? We're watching this TVP with Zerg music. I'm a big fan of the Zerg music, but let's switch it over to some Protoss music. Best is absolutely cooking right now. Making it look easy, but I guarantee you this is not easy. What he's able to do, not many players on the planet are capable of putting together armies the way that Best does and bringing them to the fore. Trading in these early game scenarios at the level that he can. Only players like Snow are really capable of doing that type of thing. To ASL champion quality players. First Arbiter is out now, and Best is gonna look for a possible recall, I think. JyJ is already pushed to the limit right now. Now, if you can recall onto one of these high grounds, it is so devastating. It's incredibly hard to get all your army up there to shut that down. I think if he recalls onto this third base, this fresh third, it's going to be very hard. Oh, and he's transitioning to carriers after this. I think that's a very smart way to play this out. Don't need to dive into this natural. Don't need to attack into the Terran. He's so well situated here. It's a little bit crazy to even think about diving in that. Best might do it just because he's such a Chad Protoss player. He might just dive directly into this natural and just go for it anyway. Absolute 8 mode, but there's no reason to do it at all. Just sit back, wait for JyJ to start to push, buy time for carriers, get this other base online, you know, send another probe out to either side of the map, start taking bases absolutely everywhere. No reason not to do all that. No reason at all. Looks like a probe will be killed top right, and so Best being thwarted for the time being. However, he's even getting energy on his arbiters. Crazy. Dude can afford absolutely everything right now. Carriers, arbiter upgrades. And he has this massive army as well. He hasn't maxed out yet, but it's not like he can't max out. He could have maxed out a while ago. But he's saving some open supply for carriers to be made. We hear a lot of scans going out right now, but even if JyJ knew about this carrier transition, I don't think there's really much he could do about it. Oh, it lives. That's crazy. Yeah, there you go. 4 carriers are out already. It's soon going to be 8. 8 carriers are going to be out here. No time at all. He's even adding on those plasma shield upgrades. In fact, that's plasma shields 2, guys. Best is going to get into the Giga army, the ultimate army of Protoss. He's going to have arbiters with all the spells, plus he's going to have carriers. Like, there's nothing more powerful than that for the Protoss army. He comes forward, he gets a couple of stasis off, Trades a little bit with the fighting force of JyJ and just backs away. Exactly as he should. No reason to lose all your army right now. Wait for the Terran player to push. And go ahead for another stasis. There it is. Just going to slow everything down. 8 carriers will be out soon. Another stasis is available. He can actually beat the army now. That's such a small army from JyJ. If he pulls together another round of zealots and just hits this with another stasis to follow up, probably hit another half of those tanks in that army, he should be able to clear that force. Big round of Goliaths making their way forward, and JyJ is going to try it. See if he can get in here. Still 168 supply. Go ahead and kill off that initial science vessel. That is so many darn carriers, man. Holy. Start to target down the tanks here. Once the tanks are gone, then the Zealot Dragoon Arbiter army can clear out everything. The only thing that's missing right now is Storm. And he could absolutely add that on at any time. He already has the Templar Archives and all that good stuff. Gonna come forward with this. Okay, Arbiter gets killed. Arbiter does die. I thought he was going to stasis, you know, big clump of Goliaths or tanks. Either one is a good target, and then you can just kill with the carriers or the ground army, depending on what you target. But he does clear the army regardless. Too much here for best. JyJ gonna tap out. That game was over for quite some time, I'll say. JyJ wanted to try it anyway. After that 2-base attack got stomped. Here he is. JyJ in bottom left. And we got Best over in top right. Gotta save my voice a little bit. Went pretty hard during the ASL this week. And we're going to be having SCSL all week as well. KCM on Friday too, so gotta pace myself a little bit here. Bear with me, guys. Too much good Broodwar. It's bad for the throat. It's great for the soul, but it's a little bad for the voice box. And so, cross-map situation here once again. Very difficult for JyJ to make a 2-base push happen in a situation like this. And I don't think it's the right play anyway. Going for 2-base against Best is just asking to be busted. To be smashed. He is the strongest player against that style of play. We've got Best. Going for Nexus first here. Didn't see the exact timing on that gas. Was it an 11 gas or a 12 gas? Maybe some Terran player in the comment can let me know in the SOOP chat. I know Love Snow's in there. He's paying close attention. Well, that'll depend. I mean, even with the cross map, you probably can't get a Vulture in there before first Dragoon. That's kind of the goal of the 11 gas, to get the fastest possible Vulture out. Try to deal a little bit of that damage. Even things out just ever so slightly. Really good control here from Best, just completely harassing this SCV. In fact, the second SCV will have to be sent out to get this information, scouting information. Going straight cross map, he's going to see the Nexus first, and he's not going to be too happy about that. One gateway follow-up for Best right into Gas and Cybercore is pretty ballsy. But once he sees that it is indeed that cross map, he's going to be pretty happy about his station. His situation is about as good as it gets. Looks like some SCVs will be pulled. In fact, pulling the boys. JyJ gonna go for a bust. Pretty hard to hold. A whole bunch of Marines and SCVs being pulled like this. However... Oh, the block. Oh my... What? Dude, Best is so good. Holy. He catches the Vulture there and actually delays it by a good 2-3 seconds. That is nasty. So the Vulture's not going to be here for the initial fight. You can see the Zealot gets out and kills a Marine already. Beautifully done. See, there should have been a Vulture here to try and help kill that, but it just wasn't available yet. SCVs are going to push up, starting this bunker, but the Dragoon is already here dealing damage to the SCVs. Probes are going to be pulled off the line. Best has decided he's going to try and sack probes and see if he can hold this. That's a pretty ballsy maneuver. If he loses all the probes and the Nexus, he'll be in a probably game-losing spot. Oh, this Dragoon is so low. The Dragoon is so crazy low. If he kills every Marine here, the bunker finishing doesn't really matter. Oh, Dragoon range is not done. The bunker finishes. Marines are in. Dragoon range not quite finished here. Has to prevent this Vulture from getting into the main. He will for now. Can he actually kill that? He does get the kill on the Dragoon. It's going to be so much harder to actually stop this bunker now. Shut that bunker down. One Marine takes a long time to kill a Nexus. But he's going to have plenty of time. Plenty of time here. In fact, probes are going to be pulled. Okay, probes are just going to be pulled for the ramp. And try to get on top of these mines. Very nice play from Best, honestly. Getting on top of the mine and the Vulture. Can he actually get the mine and the Vulture here? Oh, this other Vulture goes down. He actually gets rid of it, and he's going to stop the SCVs from repairing. He kills the Marine on the left-hand side. Unreal control here from Best. He actually breaks straight on through this with some ridiculous level of probe control. That was beautifully done. The secondary pull of probes was a little bit wild, but ended up working out fantastically. He knew right as the mines were coming online, JyJ was going to want to try and push him back, and so having the probes there to just add that little bit of DPS, start to target down the mines as they're being placed, and try to surround the Vultures, don't allow them to run back. Ugh. Perfection. Absolute perfection. And so after everything is said and done, I still think JyJ is in a playable spot, but he wasn't able to get a Nexus kill, and it hurts. It definitely hurts. As things stand, though, even SCV to probe count means that JyJ can absolutely take this one long. And we're going to have a good game on our hands, guys. This is already hotly contested straight out the gate. Going to move to go ahead and get rid of this mine here. Try to take a third base in relatively short order. Very important to get that online. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Vulture coming in. Could have actually looked to snipe that probe, but unfortunately, he turned that around and then went back in. If he gets that probe, he delays the third by quite a lot. The Observer really wanted to go across the map to see what's coming, so turned it a little early there. Oh, just barely missing this push. This push is going to come out of nowhere, just kind of teleporting out onto the map in Best size. He's actually chasing some of these units now. He's going to find this. Oh, that's a big spot right there. He does see everything. 3 tanks, a bunch of Marines, and some SCVs. Vultures being rallied as well. Scary push from JyJ, but now that it's been spotted, not nearly as scary. Best can prepare for this ahead of time. Can spread his units. He can get ready to micro against this. If it just suddenly appears in your natural as your Observer's heading into their main, oh gosh. Can get quite out of hand. Can get pretty scary. So... oh, I think a mine just connected in the natural. I was going to talk about that mine, but hold on a moment. We've got this push coming in. Pretty good control so far from Best. utilizing this range. Killing off a lot of those front forces without the tanks really dealing too much damage. Oh! That's a big mine connection once again. A lot of these Dragoons are very badly damaged. And so we'll see a lot of them start to fall in quick succession if he really tries to take this fight. Diving forward here, mine is going to get denied. But there's still 3 tanks. Can he actually chase down these tanks here? That would be quite important. Not going to be able to do so. More vultures are coming to the fore, and has to make sure that he doesn't allow any run-bys, any vultures to hit these new base locations. Running forward here, sending 1 Dragoon in to bait the mine. We'll be able to kill 1 tank. Should be able to get a second one as well. Looks like that will end up going down. All Dragoons have been traded, but getting rid of those 2 tanks is quite important. I think this is a really reasonable attack, though, from JyJ. It's getting a little bit unreasonable now. Still pushing with 1 tank. Seems a bit crazy, but he's going to start to kill some probes here and there. Just seems like this should be getting dealt with pretty soon. Couple more kills. 7 kills overall in the siege tank. Might get an 8th. There we go. 8 kills total. Gonna run away with this tank now. That should die. Yeah, he's going to block that. Not allow it to escape. Best holds. Overall, not bad. 10 worker advantage for JyJ. The chaos has started to take its toll on Best. Has not been able to get his 4th base online throughout all of this. And so he's going to have to hold this upcoming push from JyJ. This is going to be a really concerted effort to shut down Best as the 4th base comes online. It's going to be tough to stop that attack, even though it's cross map, even though Best is so strong at dealing with these types of plays. Oh, he does start a command center. All right. I thought we were going to see like 6 factory and JyJ just try to barrel down. Sitting here on... Oh, wait. This is 6 factory. 6 factory. He's going to attack and expand at the same time, I guess? That's interesting. Maybe he found himself with a bit of extra minerals. Possibly a supply block or something, and just decided to throw down the CC. I'm not sure about that. But he's keeping the pressure on. They continue to look for probe kills, and might even get some good kills there. Wow, 2 Dragoons die. Best. Being a little clumsy with his Dragoon micro there. That could be really impactful just because of the timing of those kills. Right as JyJ is gearing up for this attack. He's got the 6 fact online. He's ready to push the issue. And 2 Dragoons die for free. That's going to make this attack just that much more powerful. Poking in onto this 3rd. Best pushing across the map with a very small number of Dragoons. You could absolutely get surrounded and killed with that low amount. It really is telling the situation of the game. 114 to 114 supply, dead even at this portion of the game. JyJ is suddenly ahead in supply, and he's probably ready to get this fight going. I was a bit surprised he's not moving further forward more aggressively to push back Best. He's setting up this 3rd base, getting even more factories online. May go up to 8, 9 factories now. Sitting back a little bit more conservatively and watching, waiting for a move from Best. Looks like he's going to get that probe up to top left. 2 Reavers out here in the front need to be dealt with. Again, Best not the greatest player at dealing with those Reavers or utilizing those Reavers in order to slow down pushes like this, but he is pretty solid. Like, yeah, he will get a few kills if you just try to bum rush that. Have to have a little bit of a tactical play from JyJ coming out. He was setting up the tanks just out of range and getting a couple hits off, and then moving forward with the Goliath to just snipe the shuttle as he tries to pick up and run away. Haven't seen any Goliaths out just yet, but he should be adding a few of those into the army. It's just so typical for Best to go mass shuttle. You really do need those Goliaths to get rid of the shuttles as they're coming in. Try to limit that damage. Here we go. He's gearing up. Has a good number of Goliaths here. 4 Goliaths ready to dive on top of this. Gonna dive on the shuttle. Big shot so far from the Reavers. Killing off quite a lot of these vultures. Quite a few vultures go down, and he sieges up on the other side of his mines. That's pretty well done by JyJ. It's just a lot of the vulture army has been taken care of. And Best is exploding in supply. He's up to 176. He's going to be hitting that max out here soon and bringing a tremendous number of zealots. So if the vulture number is just not quite there, like for example, if JyJ sends 12 vultures up to top left or something like that, or tries to loop around with a bunch of these forces, get some mines out on the map, or counterattack one of these bases, then he could be desperately low on vultures. There could be a good opportunity for Best to just dive on this. Oh my gosh. Look at how stacked up these tanks are. JyJ tucking himself into a corner, and dude, these storms are absolutely insane. Holy crap, these storms are annihilating the army. But he doesn't have that follow-up storm. Look at how low all of these tanks are, man. If he had one more storm, he could just destroy everything that JyJ has. I hope that JyJ turns around with this army and goes back home, repairs it up. But it looks like he wants to push. So many of these tanks are incredibly low. He's at the 1-1 point. He's actually going to back up right now, sieging up as the drops come in. That's usually not a recipe for success, and JyJ is going to get completely overwhelmed here. Zealots diving on top of everything. Best is cleaning house. 50 supply ahead. Yeah, that is wild to me. Oh my gosh, that JyJ wanted to push forward after he lucked out and didn't lose all those tanks in that big group is kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy. Once again, Best versus JyJ. Cross map situation, guys. Deja vu. Could be our last map of the night. Hoping for a bit of a comeback. That's why we've got the Terran music rolling. But from what I've seen so far, Best seems to be a bit of a cut above when it comes to PvT. JyJ just not quite able to put things together. Not able to make these 2 base pushes work against our Silverback Gorilla. Hulk smashing through everything that JyJ tries to pull, and another Nexus first here. You've got to be kidding me. JyJ opening the same as last game, but I don't think he's going to find too much more success. We'll see if he goes for another probe pull, SCV pull, and try to bust this. It went pretty well last game. Like that was some craziness in that last one, man. And real wildness in that last game that almost resulted in critical damage being dealt to the Protoss player. But JyJ, although he got quite a few probe kills, was not able to take down the Nexus due to some really good probe control and probe pulling out of Best. Able to surround those vultures and mines and just get rid of everything. Once again, going to be chasing down this SCV. It's time to start sending SCV directly cross map initially, I think. JyJ gonna come up here now and scout this Nexus first. He will be frustrated, I am sure. Oh my god. Okay, just barely broke the pathing. Not able to get that moving shot. He will see the Nexus first. Time to pull probes. SCVs, let's go. One more time. Let's run it back. See if he can get the kill on this Nexus finally. Hasn't been able to see any second gateway or anything like that. Best is sitting here on one gate, going straight into Cybercore exactly as he did last time. Supremely confident that he'll be able to win this game. He'll be able to hold anything that comes from behind this. And Probe gonna get in and see the SCVs being pulled. Let's do it. Give it to him. JyJ sending it across the map. The early Probe Zealot and Dragoon control from Best has been top-notch this series. Well, we'll see if he can make it happen again. SCVs going to be leading the charge. 2 Zealots in that front. Dragoon on the way to try to target down Zealots, or try to target down SCVs. With these Zealots, trapping the Zealots behind the wall there, behind the corner. Oh my god, the probe surround though. Holy crap, the probe surround is so good. The probe surround is so strong. He actually gets so much damage onto these Marines. A lot more probes are being targeted down. The Zealot is going to be targeted very well though by the Vultures. One Vulture falls, another Zealot here at the back line. No more SCVs. Every SCV is gone. So it's all about killing as many probes as possible now. You're not going to get the Nexus in a situation like this. It's all about probe kills. Maybe going after a Dragoon or two would be fine as well, but yeah, it's going to target down the Vulture. The Marines will die, and this is maybe going to be it, guys. 17 workers to 20, even though he pulled his probes off the line and lost some of them. More were lost for JyJ. And so on the balance, JyJ just light years behind. He's not even got his CC started yet. He's going to make a tank. He sent more SCVs across. Oh my god, he's going to make a bunker up here. I think he's just going to just go for it. Keep going one base. Yeah, I don't see this working, but I don't see any other choice. Bunker on the high ground. Oh, it's so painful. Oh no. I mean, Best can just kind of delay this as much as possible and then send a Reaver across the map, and he should be able to win. More gateways on the way. Mines are going to be coming up here. JyJ going to send even more SCVs across the map. He's going to send 3 more SCVs across the map. Probe over here in the corner. Just getting vision right now, I guess. Pylon at the edge of the base there. Triple gateway Dragoon is nasty. I think we need to build like 3 more bunkers. How about just 3 more bunkers? How does that sound? Tank set up. It's a free shot. Mine's got to be done here soon, right? Mine's going to be finishing up soon. Tank's pushing forward. He really wants to force a little bit of an engagement. Try to get a bit of damage on these. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, the SCVs. Oh no. JyJ is crashing out right now, guys. He's absolutely crashing out. These SCVs are just not moving at all. They've been completely stuck here for a crazy amount of time. There's really nothing else to be paying attention to. There's no macro back at home. Somehow he's missing out on this. He's almost able to hit the mineral patches from this position, but he's got 3 tanks only, and that's a ton of Dragoons. No mines to cover this. Just the Marines in the bunker. 2 tanks are going to go down immediately, and that's enough. He can pull back. Supply depot there. Kind of clutch. Not bad. With that supply depot, so many SCVs are just sitting here. So many SCVs are just sitting here doing nothing. Marines are going to have to be pulled out of that bunker. Another tank arrives. And, man, I bet he's wishing he had those SCVs right about now. He's pulling the rest of the boys. He's got 4 SCVs still sitting here, but the whole rest of the SCVs are coming up to the front right now. I think he's got maybe 5 SCVs mining, something like that. He's going to be able to make a vulture, maybe, at some point. Tanks coming. He actually needs tanks so badly. Marines here, outside of the bunker, doing their absolute best. SCV is going to come forward, try to get the repair. Let's just kill those tanks, and no problem. A lot of these Dragoons are going to go down, but the production difference is insane. JyJ needed this to just win right now, but as long as he keeps killing a few things here and there, Best is going to completely outproduce him. And so JyJ will have to tap out. Well, that is something else, guys. The crash out here from JyJ. Oh, boy. The crash out in this series is something else. Not sending those SCVs across the map, just having 4 SCVs sitting in the middle of the map during that siege of the natural is pretty wild. Oh my goodness. Starcraft Daily is pretty amazing. Yeah, I am agreeing with you completely. A 3rd golden age. I hope JyJ didn't owe anyone money. I hope not as well. Best is something else, though, when it comes to defending in the early game, and those 2 base pushes just don't seem to beat him at all. It seems like almost nobody can beat him with those. Not even Light seems to be capable of making it work. Best, you gotta take him to a late game situation, split the map, force him to do something other than just bomb zealots on top of your tanks and fight you with Dragoons. It's just something else. You have to make him do something else. We saw him get into carriers in one of these games, but it was from such an advantage, it really wasn't impactful. The carriers were just kind of the icing on the top, or the cherry on top. Guys, we're going to end here. Not going to do too much of an anti-spoiler. Someone reached out to me and was sharing with me their add-on that they made that prevents spoilers, and so I'm going to start promoting that, I think. I'm going to try it out for myself and see how it works, and then maybe I'm going to promote that to you guys. And if we can get most of you guys on that add-on, then we won't need to do these anti-spoilers, and you guys can feel secure knowing that you're not going to be spoiled just by, looking at the bar, because it won't be there, by the progress bar on YouTube, because it won't be there. It looks pretty good. Again, I'm just gonna check it out myself, and then I'll start promoting it to you guys. This is a bit of an anticlimactic series, but everything feels anticlimactic after that round of 4, guys. That round of 4 ASL, nothing's gonna beat that right now. Let's be honest. That round of 4 is so insanely hype. So insanely good. I mean, what can you even say? It's overshadowing everything for sure at this point. I hope we're going to have a great finals as well. Again, that's going to be on the 25th at 2 p.m., guys. You can join in on SOOP Live on the channel listed in the description of this video. Come watch Shun and I cast that live. It'll be a lot of fun. And so thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Those of you who showed up to the live cast, thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a bit of a better match. I hope that we're going to get a really good match tomorrow. I'd like to see JyJ get his butt whooped like that. Best a little bit too strong. He has a lot of hype behind him. Definitely earned a lot of fans this season, and we're expecting great things out of him in the future. JyJ